There are moments, my dear children, when heaven leans in close, so close that you can almost feel the breath of the Spirit brushing against your heart. Tonight is one of those moments. I stand before you not as a man full of wisdom, but as a servant carrying a message that is heavier than my own soul. As I prayed, as I listened, as I waited in stillness, I felt a stirring, a trembling, not of fear, but of urgency. And the voice of the Lord whispered something I cannot keep to myself. Tell them there are 45 minutes left. Now, do not misunderstand this. God is not bound by the clocks that rule our earthly days. But whenever God speaks in minutes, it means something is pressing. Something is close. Something is shifting behind the veil. And He is trying, oh, He is trying to get your attention before it reaches you. I felt His heart. I felt His ache. I felt His desire to reach His children. Some of you watching this, some of you sitting here, you have felt something strange lately, a tug, a small shaking in your spirit, a quiet voice asking you to slow down, to breathe, to listen. But you brushed it off. You were busy. You were tired. You were overwhelmed. And without knowing it, without meaning to, you skipped Him. Yes, you skipped Him. Just like you skip a song on your phone. Just like you skip a message that feels too long to read. Just like you skip notifications you don't feel like opening. You skip the Creator of time itself. But tonight, God is not angry. He is calling. He is reaching. His voice is gentle but firm, soft but commanding. And He says, open this. Do not skip me again. There is something coming. Something unexpected. Something that will not wait until you are ready. Heaven is alert. The angels are moving. The spiritual atmosphere is shifting. And the countdown has begun. Child of God, there are some messages that do not arrive early. They arrive right on time, because they are meant to interrupt you. They are meant to stop you. They are meant to grab hold of you so tightly that you cannot return to the old version of yourself. This was one of those messages. I want you to imagine for a moment a traveler walking down a narrow path. The sun is warm, the wind is calm, and everything feels safe. But just a short distance ahead, there is a sudden drop, a cliff that cannot be seen from where he stands. Now imagine someone shouting his name, warning him, calling him back. But the traveler is listening to music, humming a tune, distracted, unaware of the danger that is so close. My child, many of you are that traveler. You are walking with confidence. You are moving with energy. Life seems normal, maybe even predictable. But heaven sees what you cannot. Heaven sees the turn, the bend, the moment where everything will change. And so God speaks now, urgently, tenderly, 4 to 5 minutes left. Listen to me. Some of you have felt this message coming. You felt the nudge to click this. You felt the pull in your spirit telling you, don't ignore this one. And that is because your spirit knows something your mind does not. Your soul recognizes the frequency of heaven even when your flesh tries to keep scrolling. Tonight, The Father is not calling you to fear. He is calling you to awareness, to attention, to awakening. He is calling you to hear what you have skipped before, to feel what you have ignored, to embrace what you have avoided. For this time, this message cannot be skipped. When God whispers of a countdown, He is not trying to frighten you. He is trying to awaken you. When He said, 4 to 5 minutes left, He was not speaking of the ticking clock on your wall, nor the deadlines of this world. He was speaking of a spiritual moment, a divine window that is closing in, a shift that is drawing near. Heaven uses time not to measure, but to warn, to guide, to prepare. When God gives a number, it always carries meaning. And the number 45, my child, is not random, is not casual. It is a message wrapped in urgency. 40 is the number of transformation, the number of testing, preparation, and spiritual shaping. It is the number of the wilderness journey, the fasting season, the cleansing rain. It represents a period where God molds you, breaks you, reshapes you, and strengthens you. But then comes the number 5, the number of grace, the number that symbolizes God stepping in, God finishing what you could not finish, God touching the situation with His supernatural hand. So when heaven says 4 to 5, heaven is telling you that you are standing in the final stretch before grace moves. You are standing in the last part of a spiritual season, the final breaths before something shifts, the quiet moments before God's intervention touches your life. This countdown is not about doom. It is about destiny. It is not a threat. It is an invitation to pay attention. You may not realize it, but you have been feeling this countdown inside you. Some of you have felt unusual pressure lately, almost like something in your spirit has been stirring. You felt restless at night. You sensed something shifting even though nothing around you seemed to change. You felt like you were waiting for something, but you didn't know what it was. That was heaven tapping on your heart, saying, stay away. Something is coming. You may have thought it was anxiety, stress, or overthinking, but it was your spirit sensing the moment that approaches you. When heaven prepares a shift, your soul can feel it before your mind understands it. And child, I must tell you this with full clarity. God has been trying to reach you because you are closer to a turning point than you realize. The countdown means you are about to walk into a moment that will define your path for the next season of your life. It could be a decision you are about to make. It could be a person entering or leaving your life. It could be a door that is about to open or close. It could be a blessing forming in the unseen realm. It could be a challenge that will push you into growth. Heaven sees ahead. Heaven sees the bend in the road. Heaven sees the unseen events. Heaven sees what your natural eyes cannot detect, and so God speaks now, before you cross into that moment. Many times God speaks long before the moment arrives. He warns before the crisis. He nudges before the opportunity. He whispers before the shift. And this countdown is one of those whispers. But because His voice is gentle, many overlook it. Because His sign is subtle, many ignore it. Because it does not appear dramatic, many dismiss it. But God is not after theatrics. God is after your attention. He does not want you to walk blindly into what is coming. He wants you awake. He wants your spirit ready. He wants your heart steady. Think of how a pilot receives instructions before entering turbulence. The warning is not meant to scare him. It is meant to prepare him so he can adjust, stabilize, and remain calm. In the same way, God is giving you a spiritual prepare yourself moment. Not to frighten you, but to position you. He wants you aligned so that when the unexpected comes, you do not panic, you do not stumble, and you do not lose direction. Everything God has been doing in your life recently, the restlessness, the sudden peace, the strange nudges, the shifting connections, the closed doors, the quiet moments, the inner pull to slow down, all of these were part of the preparation leading to this countdown. Heaven does not waste movements. Heaven does not waste signs. Heaven does not waste warnings. The fact that you are hearing this message right now is itself a part of the countdown. God timed this moment. God led you here. He placed this message in front of you right when your spirit was ready to receive it. You are not late. You are not early. You are right on time. My child, the meaning behind this divine countdown is simple. God is preparing to move. Grace is preparing to step in. Something unexpected is approaching, and He does not want you to be caught unaware. He is telling you, listen, pay attention. I am about to shift something in your life, and He wants your heart ready when the moment arrives. There comes a moment in every believer's life when they must face a truth they did not want to admit. Sometimes the problem is not that God is silent, but that we have become too distracted to hear Him. The voice of God does not always thunder. Most of the time, it whispers, and if your soul is noisy, you will skip the whispers meant to guide and protect you. My child, many of you have been hearing God more than you realize, but the world around you has grown so loud that His voice was pushed into the background. Not intentionally, not rebelliously, but unknowingly. This is why the Father said, I've been trying to reach you, but you keep skipping me, because He knows there were moments He called your name, moments He tugged at your heart, moments He gently warned you, and you felt the nudge, but you brushed it aside. You see, the human mind is trained to respond to what is loud, dramatic, urgent, and emotional. But God speaks spirit to spirit, softly to softly, deep to deep. He speaks in thoughts that seem too gentle to be taken seriously. He speaks in feelings that seem too subtle to act on. He speaks through inner hesitations and sudden peace, through small discomforts and random ideas that seem to come out of nowhere. And because these signals do not come with flashing lights or thunder, many skip them. You may not have realized it, but you have skipped God in the same way people skip a long text message, not because you don't care, but because you don't feel ready to give it attention. You skipped God the way people skip a notification, telling themselves they will open it later, and later becomes never. You skipped God the way people skip a song they do not feel in the moment, not understanding the words were meant for them right then. Let me tell you something, my child. God has been speaking to you through restlessness. He has been speaking to you through your discomfort with certain people. He has been speaking to you through the way your spirit tightened around certain choices. He has been speaking through the sudden loss of interest in things that once entertained you. He has been speaking through that moment where you paused and wondered if you should pray. He has been speaking through repeated thoughts, dreams, moments of déjà vu, and coincidences that felt too perfect to ignore. He has been speaking through the heaviness you felt without understanding why. He has been speaking through your longing for something deeper, something real, something holy, even if you didn't know how to put that feeling into words. But when life gets heavy, when schedules get tight, when emotions get overwhelming, when responsibilities pile up, the soul becomes cluttered. And a cluttered soul skips the whispers of God without even noticing it. You see, God does not shout over your distractions. He waits for your attention, and when he sees you drifting, he speaks again, gently, consistently, again and again, because his love refuses to let you walk blind into what is ahead. I want you to imagine a shepherd calling out to his sheep. When they wander too far, he doesn't begin with a scream. He begins with a familiar sound, a soft call. If the sheep are distracted by noise, they don't hear it. If they wander too far, the sound becomes faint. But the shepherd does not stop calling. He keeps calling until the sheep hear something, even if it's just an echo, that draws them back. My child, this is what God has been doing with you. Even when you moved away, he kept calling. Even when you were overwhelmed, he kept nudging. Even when you skipped him, he did not skip you. His voice did not leave you. Your awareness of his voice simply faded beneath the noise of life. Some of you felt like you have not heard God in a long time, but the truth is very different. You have been hearing him, just not recognizing him. You mistook his whispers for random thoughts. You mistook his nudges for anxiety. You mistook his warnings for emotional instability. You mistook his guidance for overthinking. The enemy has a way of making the voice of God feel like imagination, while making fear feel like truth. But today, the clarity of heaven is breaking through that confusion. You must understand something sacred. The voice you keep ignoring is the voice that sees ahead of you. God sees danger long before you do. He sees betrayal before it reveals itself. He sees the trap before you step into it. He sees the blessing before it arrives. He sees the shift before you feel it. And because he sees what you cannot see, he speaks when you do not understand. That is why skipping his voice is dangerous. Not because he will punish you, but because you will walk into moments unprepared. But do not fear. The Father does not speak this with anger. He speaks it with love. He wants you to know he has been trying to reach you because something unexpected is approaching, something that requires your attention. And this time, he does not want you to skip him. He wants you to receive this message fully, deeply, openly, because the next part of your journey depends on hearing him clearly. There are many moments in your life when heaven has reached out to you, moments you thought were ordinary, but were actually divine interruptions. God does not always send angels with trumpets. He does not always speak in visions or dreams that shake your soul. More often, he speaks through the small cracks of your routine, the tiny shifts in your day, the strange pauses your spirit feels for no reason. But because these moments are subtle, many people overlook them. Yet they are the very moments that reveal how much God has been trying to reach you. My child, you must understand that God is a gentle communicator. He will not force himself into your life with chaos. He slips into the quiet spaces of your day, hoping you will notice him. A sudden heaviness, a sudden peace, an urge to pray, a pull to withdraw, a strange discomfort. These are all signs that heaven is trying to get your attention. Think back for a moment. Think of the time something inside you told you not to go somewhere, but you went anyway. Think of the times you felt uneasy about someone, but you brushed it off. Think of the times you were about to make a decision and something in you whispered, "Wait." Think of the times you planned something for days, and at the last moment it collapsed. You were frustrated. You were disappointed. You were confused. But heaven was blocking you from what would have harmed you. You didn't see the danger ahead, but God did. And by delaying you, shutting a door, or shifting your plan, He saved you from what your eyes could not see. Some of you have had recent moments where everything seemed to fall apart suddenly. The plan you trusted broke down. A person you depended on grew distant. An opportunity you wanted vanished. You cried. You begged God for answers. You asked, "Lord, why would you let this happen?" But heaven was not hurting you. Heaven was protecting you. The rejection you faced was actually redirection. The closed door was a shield. The loneliness was a setup for clarity. The silence was God telling you that He removed something that would have destroyed you later. And though you didn't understand it then, your spirit knew something was shifting. There was a pressure in the air, a stirring inside you, a sense that things were changing even if you could not explain it. That, my child, was God reaching for you again. Sometimes God reaches you through restlessness. When you can't settle, it's because He doesn't want you settling for the wrong thing. Sometimes He reaches you through discomfort. When something doesn't feel right, it's because heaven sees what your eyes cannot. Sometimes God reaches you through loss. Not to punish you, but to remove what was blocking the path ahead. Sometimes God reaches you through divine delays, not because you are behind, but because He is placing you right on time for something greater. And sometimes God reaches you through people. A stranger says something that hits your heart with clarity. A friend gives you advice you didn't want to hear, but needed. A child makes an innocent comment that exposes a hidden truth. A sermon echoes the very thought you had earlier. A message like this appears in your life at the exact moment your spirit is weakened. These are not coincidences. These are divine arrangements. Heaven knows how to place the right words in the right mouths at the right moment. Many times God tries to reach you through opportunities you didn't ask for. You suddenly get invited to something unusual. You receive a call you didn't expect. A door opens without your effort. God sometimes reaches you through blessings that appear quietly, almost unnoticed. A bill gets paid unexpectedly. A problem solves itself. A crisis passes without harm. These are God's fingerprints, His quiet way of saying, "I am still here." But perhaps one of the strongest ways God reaches you is through inner conviction, that still, soft voice saying, "This path is wrong," or "This is the right moment," or "Go apologize," or "Walk away," or "Try again." This inner voice is not your imagination. It is the Holy Spirit whispering guidance, trying to save you from future pain or align you with future purpose. Yet often, because the whisper is gentle, people ignore it. They wait for something louder, more dramatic. But God's voice is not theatrical. It is relational. He speaks to you like a father, not like a storm. My child, I want you to see clearly. God has been trying to reach you because something unexpected is approaching. Not something evil, but something important. A moment that requires your attention. A season shift. A divine appointment. A spiritual awakening. And He does not want you to face it with dull senses or deaf ears. That is why He stirred your heart. That is why He interrupted your path. That is why He placed this message in front of you. Heaven is positioning you, preparing you, aligning you. The signs were not random. The nudges were not accidental. The shifts were not meaningless. They were all God reaching for you, trying to get you ready for what is coming. And now, as you hear these words, your spirit recognizes something your mind has not yet processed. God has been pursuing you with purpose. You didn't just arrive here. You were led here. And it is because the Father is trying once again to reach you, not softly this time, but clearly, so you do not walk into the next moment of your life unaware. There are seasons when life moves in a straight line, predictable and steady. And then there are seasons when something unexpected begins to rise in the spiritual atmosphere long before it shows itself in the natural world. My child, the Father does not speak of the unexpected to frighten you, but to prepare you. When heaven says something is coming, it means the next chapter of your life is already unfolding behind the scenes. You may not see the shift yet, but your spirit has already begun to feel it. That strange heaviness you felt recently, that unexplainable sense of change, that sudden awareness that something in your life is about to turn, all these were the early rumblings of the unexpected that is approaching your life. Heaven never surprises you without first signaling that a change is near. And in this moment, God is saying the unexpected is not only coming, it is coming quickly. What is unexpected? It is the moment that does not follow your plans, but follows God's plan. It is the door that opens when you stop knocking. It is the opportunity that appears without your effort. It is the relationship that shifts suddenly. It is the truth that is revealed after being hidden. It is the blessing disguised in a disruption. It is the protection hiding in a setback. Many times, the unexpected looks messy in the beginning. It comes wrapped in confusion and wrapped in questions. But later you realize it was the hand of God all along. The unexpected is the place where heaven rewrites what you thought was permanent. And this, my child, is what God is preparing you for right now. Some of you watching this have been experiencing sudden emotional waves recently. One moment you felt hopeful, and the next moment you felt uncertain. One day you were full of direction, and the next day you felt loss. This is not instability. This is spiritual transition. Your spirit is adjusting to a new season, even before your mind understands it. God often shakes the inside of you before He shifts the outside of you. He does this so that your spirit wakes up and your attention sharpens. When something unexpected is coming, God stirs you internally so that when the moment arrives externally, you are ready to interpret it correctly instead of panicking or running. There are unexpected blessings coming, blessings that will catch you off guard. Blessings that will make you wonder how they appeared so suddenly. Blessings that will feel too perfect to be random. But there are also unexpected exposures coming, where God reveals what you did not see, what you did not want to see, or what you refuse to acknowledge. Sometimes the unexpected arrives to protect you. Sometimes it arrives to redirect you. Sometimes it arrives to remove people whose season in your life has ended. Sometimes it arrives to push you into a higher place of purpose. The unexpected is not your enemy. It is often your escort into destiny. And hear me as a father. When God warns that something unexpected is coming, He is not telling you to fear the unknown. He is telling you that He is already ahead of you. He is already in the future you worry about. He is already standing in the moment you haven't walked into yet. You are not stepping into something unprepared. You are stepping into something God has prepared for you. Heaven does not warn to create panic. Heaven warns to create readiness. Heaven warns to give you spiritual posture. Heaven warns to draw your ear closer so you will listen, so you will pay attention, so you will not skip the voice that is trying to guide you through the moment that approaches. My child, the unexpected that is coming will reveal the strength you forgot you had. It will show you that God has been closer to you than you realize. It will open your eyes to how intentional heaven is about your journey. For some of you, the unexpected will be a sudden breakthrough, a financial shift, a healing, a restoration, a long-awaited answer. For others, the unexpected will be a sudden ending, a door closing, a responsibility shifting, a pattern breaking. Do not fear endings. God closes doors not to punish you, but to reposition you. Sometimes the unexpected separation is the only way God can get you to the place He has prepared. And for many of you, the unexpected will be a spiritual awakening. You will begin to hear God more clearly. You will feel Him more deeply. You will sense His presence in the simple moments. Your dreams will sharpen. Your intuition will strengthen. Your hunger for Him will increase without explanation. This is the unexpected revival happening inside you. Not loud, not dramatic, but real and steady. Heaven is awakening your spirit because you are stepping into a season where discernment will matter more than comfort. Listen to me carefully. This moment, this message, is part of the unexpected. God brought you here because He is preparing you. You are not hearing this by chance. You are not watching this because you were bored. You were drawn here. Pulled here. Led here. Heaven orchestrated this moment because the unexpected approach in your life carries weight, purpose, and divine timing. And you must not walk into it unaware. And now, before we move to the next part, I want to speak to your heart softly. When God brings a message that touches your spirit, when heaven sends a word that awakens you, the right response is to share it with others. Not out of routine, but out of obedience. If this message has stirred you, if it has reached you, then honor the moment by lifting it higher. Help someone else receive what you just received. Let this message travel to the places God intends. My child, let your support be part of your worship. Speak life into this message, push it forward, and make sure it reaches the souls who need it. In this season, that simple act becomes a divine responsibility. There is a divine reason you are here right now, listening to these words, feeling something warm and heavy stirring in your spirit. You may think you clicked on this message by accident or curiosity, but heaven does not operate through accidents. God does not place a prophetic word in front of you unless there is a spiritual need inside you that only this moment can answer. My child, you were led here. Something in your spirit responded to the pull of heaven. You may not have understood it, but you obeyed a whisper that was not your own. When God said, "I've been trying to reach you," he was speaking about moments just like this one. Moments where he draws you into a message not to entertain you, but to waken you. Moments where he places a word in your path, because he knows the season you are about to walk into requires spiritual clarity, not confusion. Many of you have been feeling out of place lately. You have been questioning your direction. You have been wondering why things feel strange, why your usual routines don't satisfy you anymore, why the things you used to enjoy feel empty, why certain friendships feel distant, why certain desires suddenly shifted, why your heart is hungry for something you can't describe. This is not emotional instability. This is spiritual alignment. What you feel inside is the evidence that God is positioning you for something bigger than your current season. Your soul is sensing a transition you have not yet seen. Heaven moves before earth manifests. Your spirit feels the movement long before your eyes witness it. And when God is preparing you for a new chapter, he begins by unsettling the one you are in. Some of you have been asking God for clarity, praying silently, "Lord, show me what to do, show me where to go, show me what you want." But you thought he wasn't answering. You thought he was silent. You thought heaven had gone quiet on you. Yet the truth is that God heard every word. He watched you cry. He watched you try to be strong. He saw how you were carrying weight that was too heavy for your heart. And instead of responding with thunder, he led you to this moment. This message is his answer. This message is his sign. This message is his way of letting you know, I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned you. I am guiding you right now. You are here because God needed your heart to be still for a moment. You are here because he needed you to hear something without skipping it, without brushing it aside, without silencing the tug in your spirit. You are here because he's preparing to take you somewhere, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and he needs you to be aware, awake, and aligned. He brought you to this moment because your next season requires a depth of discernment you did not have before. And so he is sharpening your spirit. He is opening your ears. He is stirring your hunger. He is pulling you out of distraction. You see, God leads his children in gentle ways. He starts by giving you inner discomfort for things that no longer belong in your life. Then he gives you a longing for something deeper, something real, something holy. Then he gives you encounters like this one. Moments where a message suddenly feels alive. Moments where your heart burns, even though you don't know why. Moments where something inside you whispers, pay attention. That is God aligning your steps. That is God waking up your spirit. That is God confirming that you are not lost. You are being guided. Some of you have felt spiritually numb for a long time, disconnected, dry, empty. But the reason you are listening to these words right now is because heaven is reawakening you. God is igniting something in you that had been asleep. The enemy tried to silence your spirit. Life tried to drain your faith. Pain tried to shut down your hope. But God refused to let you stay spiritually asleep. So He reached for you. He placed this word in your path. He brought you here to reignite what was fading. There is a reason this message feels different. There is a reason your heart is leaning in. There is a reason your spirit is trembling slightly. There is a reason you feel seen, understood, exposed in a gentle way. This is not a human voice touching you. This is the Spirit of God confirming that your life is entering a new season, and He does not want you to walk into it without Him. My child, you were led here because your future requires clarity. You were led here because heaven is shifting something around you. You were led here because God has been trying to reach you for weeks, maybe months, and now He finally has your full attention. You were led here because the unexpected is coming, and God wants you prepared. You were led here because your spirit is awakening, your ears are opening, your steps are being guided. You were led here because heaven has chosen this moment to speak to you clearly, deeply, and directly. You are not here by chance. You are here by divine orchestration. Heaven has positioned you for this word, and this word is positioning you for what comes next. There comes a moment in a person's life when God stops hinting and begins speaking plainly, because the time for gentle reminders has passed and the time for clear direction has arrived. My child, you are standing in that exact moment right now. This is not a message meant to inspire you for a few minutes and fade away. This is a message that heaven has stamped with urgency, one that carries the weight of divine intention. When God says, "You keep skipping me," He is not condemning you. He is reminding you how precious His guidance is and how dangerous it is to ignore the voice that sees ahead of you. This is the message you must not skip again, because what you hear in this moment will become the foundation for your next season. There is something God has been trying to tell you for a long time now, but life kept drowning it out. Responsibilities drowned it out. Worries drowned it out. People drowned it out. Busyness drowned it out. You kept trying to be strong on your own. You kept trying to figure out everything by yourself. You kept trying to hold together pieces that were never meant for you to hold. And God watched you, not with anger, but with compassion, whispering softly, "Come back to me, I have the answers you are searching for." But because the whisper did not match the noise around you, you missed it. You skipped it. You brushed it aside, even without knowing. And now, God is bringing this message to you in a moment when your heart is ready to hear it. He is saying to you, "Child, you cannot walk into this next season in your own strength. You cannot lean on old habits, old patterns, or old ways of thinking. You cannot depend on people who do not understand where I am taking you. You cannot survive the shift that is coming with the level of spiritual awareness you had in the last chapter. This is why He is speaking with such clarity now. Heaven is preparing you not only for what is coming, but for who you must become. This message you must not skip again is simple but powerful. God wants your attention back. He wants your trust. He wants your ears. He wants your surrender. He wants your heart repositioned and your spirit awakened. The days of drifting are over. The days of being numb are ending. The days of being spiritually distracted must stop now. You may not feel ready, but God is ready. You may not fully understand, but God does. You may still feel uncertain, but the one who holds your future is certain. You must not skip this message, because God is trying to save you from unnecessary pain. He is trying to pull you away from choices that will drain you. He is trying to distance you from people who cannot go where you are going. He is trying to move you out of patterns that weaken you. He is trying to warn you before the moment arrives, so that when the unexpected comes, you do not panic or fall apart, but instead stand strong with clarity and peace. Listen closely to this. God is calling you back into alignment. He is saying, return to me. Make room for me. Make time for me. Come talk to me in the quiet. Let me lead you. Let me guide you. Let me strengthen you. You may not know how to do that. You may feel guilty for drifting. You may feel distant, unworthy, or tired. But God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for attention. He is not demanding effort. He is inviting you into rest. He is not waiting for you to perform. He is waiting for you to listen. This is the message your spirit has been hungry for. This is the message that explains the restlessness you've been feeling. This is the message that answers the questions you could not put into words. This is the message that your future self will look back on and say, that was the moment everything changed. The Father is saying, do not skip me again. Your life, your calling, your breakthrough, your protection, these depend on your ears being open. My child, God is not whispering anymore. He is speaking directly. He is reaching for you strongly. He is drawing you close. This moment is sacred. This message is not entertainment. It is preparation. It is guidance, and it is a divine intervention. Hold it. Receive it. Let it sink deep. For the next season of your life begins with what you choose to hear in this moment. When God begins to stir the atmosphere of your life, the wisest thing you can do is prepare your spirit. Preparation is not about fear. It is about readiness. It is about walking into the unexpected with steady steps instead of shaking knees. My child, the shift that is coming into your life is not meant to confuse you. It is meant to move you into alignment with what heaven has already written about you. But for you to walk into this moment with clarity, you must prepare yourself from the inside out. A shift always begins within before it reveals itself outside. This means your heart, your thinking, your habits, and your spiritual posture must begin to adjust now, even before you see any visible change. Preparation begins with stillness. You must learn to quiet your soul long enough to hear God's whisper again. Many people miss God not because He is silent, but because they never slow down enough to receive what He is trying to say. In this next season, you must create space for God. Not forced, not pressured, not heavy, simply intentional. Even if it is just a few quiet moments each day, those moments will reopen your spiritual ears. Those small pauses will help your heart breathe again. This stillness is where clarity will rise. This is where the fog in your spirit will lift. This is where confusion will break. God will not shout over the noise of your life. He prepares you by calling you into silence with Him. The second step of preparation is letting go of what cannot go with you. There are people, habits, fears, and attitudes that belong to the old version of you, but they cannot enter the season God is calling you into. You must not carry dead weight into a divine moment. Some relationships have already begun to feel different because God is shifting your spiritual gravity. Where you once tolerated certain behaviors, now you feel drained. Where you once chased people, now you feel release. This is not emotional coldness. This is spiritual preparation. God is teaching you who brings peace to your soul and who brings confusion. Pay attention to what drains you and what strengthens you. Pay attention to what breaks your focus and what awakens your spirit. These signs are part of your preparation. The third step is trust. You must trust that God knows more than you do. He sees what you do not see. He knows the timing, the details, the hidden pieces, the unseen paths. You do not need to understand everything to prepare for it. You just need to trust the one leading you. Trust is not a feeling. It is a decision. It is choosing to believe that God's hand is still on your life even when you feel uncertain. The unexpected may surprise you, but it will never surprise Him. So walk with Him. Lean on Him. Rest in Him. Let your faith become the anchor that keeps your heart steady while the shift unfolds. Fourth, prepare by strengthening your spirit. You need spiritual clarity for this next chapter. You cannot afford to walk distracted or spiritually asleep. Begin to pray again. Even small prayers matter. Begin to read the Word again. Even a little each day will feed your spirit. Begin to speak life over yourself. Begin to guard your mind from negativity. Begin to say no to the distractions that were stealing your spiritual hunger. These actions do not make you religious. They make you ready. Heaven is not demanding perfection. Heaven is asking for awakening. The fifth step is emotional preparation. You must allow God to heal places in you that you have been ignoring. The unexpected shift may require you to forgive, to release past wounds, to let go of old disappointments, to understand that the person you were before cannot guide you into who you are becoming. Do not take old pain into a new season. Let God tend to those broken corners of your heart. He cannot build something new on top of old, unattended wounds. Healing is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of preparation. Finally, prepare by expecting the goodness of God. Many people walk into new seasons afraid of what might go wrong. But you must walk in expectation of what God is about to make right. Expect blessings. Expect clarity. Expect opportunities. Expect divine timing. Expect protection. Expect growth. Expect restoration. Expect peace. Expect the presence of God in every step you take. Heaven moves where expectation lies. My child, preparation does not mean pressure. It means readiness. And God is using this message to shape your heart, steady your mind, and awaken your spirit. The unexpected is not coming to destroy you. It is coming to reveal you. Let your steps be firm, your ears open, your heart soft, and your spirit ready. The shift you are preparing for will not leave you the same. It will move you closer to what God intended all along. There comes a time in every believer's life when they must understand that they are not walking through this world without purpose. You are not breathing by accident. You are not here just to survive another day. You were created with intention, woven with calling, shaped with destiny, and placed into this exact moment of history because heaven has an assignment for you. My child, the shift that is approaching is not just about what God is going to do around you. It is also about what God is going to do through you. You have a divine assignment in this season, and heaven has been stirring your spirit to recognize it. For too long, you saw yourself as ordinary. You compared yourself to others. You believed the lie that you were not enough, not strong enough, not wise enough, not spiritual enough. But heaven does not make mistakes. God did not place gifts inside you for decoration. He placed them there to be activated. The pressure you have been feeling recently is not a sign of weakness. It is the sign of a calling waking up. A spiritual assignment is pulling at you. Something in you is shifting because you are stepping into a purpose that your soul has recognized long before your mind could understand it. You may wonder, Lord, what can I possibly do? But purpose is not always loud. Sometimes it begins quietly, in kindness, in obedience, in compassion, in listening to God when others ignore Him. Your assignment may not look like a stage or a spotlight. It may look like being a light in your home. It may look like being strength for someone who is falling apart. It may look like making a difficult decision that breaks generational patterns. It may look like walking away from something toxic so that your spirit can breathe again. It may look like taking your relationship with God seriously for the first time in a long time. Your divine assignment is connected to obedience. Every time you listen to God, even in small things, you activate the purpose inside you. Every time you respond to His whisper, you walk deeper into destiny. Heaven is not calling you to be perfect. Heaven is calling you to be available. God can do more with your willingness than He ever could with your strength. He is not asking you to move mountains. He is asking you to trust the one who can. My child, your assignment in this season also involves discernment. You must understand who belongs in your life and who does not. You must understand which voices to listen to and which ones to silence. You must understand which opportunities come from God and which ones are traps disguised as blessings. You must understand when to move and when to wait. All of these require spiritual sensitivity, which is why God has been calling for your attention. He needs you aligned so you do not miss the direction He is giving. Some of you have a divine assignment to rebuild your faith, your home, your confidence, your inner strength. Others have an assignment to release old relationships, release old mindsets, release old wounds, release the weight you were never designed to carry. And some of you have an assignment to rise, to step into leadership, to speak when you used to be silent, to walk boldly where you once hesitated, to step into the authority God placed inside you since birth. This assignment is not random. It is connected to your identity. The things you survived were training. The battles you fought were sharpening you. The tears you cried watered the soil of your purpose. The loneliness you felt pushed you closer to God. Nothing was wasted. Every valley, every trial, every heartbreak, every victory, all of it was shaping you for this moment. Heaven has been preparing you privately for what you are about to step into publicly. And hear me, my child, your assignment in this season is bigger than your comfort. You cannot choose convenience over calling anymore. God needs you awake. He needs you responsive. He needs you aware. A great shift is unfolding, and He chose you to be part of it. Not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen. You are stepping into a moment where your obedience will ripple into the lives of others. Your yes to God will break chains. Your faith will open doors. Your clarity will protect your family. Your growth will inspire someone else's breakthrough. You are not just living for yourself. Heaven has woven you into the story of others. This is why God has been trying to reach you so urgently. He is preparing you, not just for what is coming, but for who He is calling you to become in this season. This is your divine assignment, to rise, to listen, to align, and to walk boldly into the purpose written for you since before you were born. Heaven is counting on you, and heaven does not choose lightly. There is a holy stillness that comes at the end of a message like this, a stillness that tells you heaven has spoken, and now your heart must respond. My child, you have walked with me through every part of this journey, from the countdown, to the whispers you ignored, to the ways God has been reaching for you, to the unexpected that is approaching, to the assignment woven into your life. And now we stand here, at the final moment of this message, the place where everything God has spoken gathers into one truth. He is calling you back to Him with urgency, with love, and with purpose. Heaven does not exaggerate. Heaven does not speak without intention. When God says there are 45 minutes left, He is not speaking of earthly time. He is speaking of spiritual timing. He is telling you that you are standing at the edge of a shift, the final breath before something unseen becomes visible, the threshold where destiny meets decision. And in this moment, the Father wants your heart fully awake. You may not realize it, but the past few weeks of your life have been preparing you for this exact moment. The restlessness you felt was not random. The emotional shifts were not confusion. The strange dreams were not imagination. The isolation was not punishment. These were signs. Signs that the spiritual atmosphere around you was changing. Signs that heaven was getting closer to your situation. Signs that the old season was closing and a new one was approaching. And now God is giving you the final invitation to step fully into that new season with open eyes and a ready spirit. He is asking you to stop drifting, stop hesitating, stop doubting, and finally return to the place where your heart hears Him clearly again. My dear child, listen closely. This final call is not about fear. God is not warning you because danger is coming. He is warning you because purpose is coming, because clarity is coming, because change is coming, because answers are coming, because breakthrough is coming. Heaven is aligning your steps so that when the unexpected arrives, whether it comes in the form of a blessing, a truth, a revelation, or a shift, you do not panic but stand still with peace in your soul. God wants you steady. He wants you rooted. He wants you prepared. He wants you spiritually awake, so that nothing in this next season catches you unaware. Some of you can feel it even now, a warm stirring, a trembling in your chest, a sense that these words were not meant for someone else, but for you. Your spirit is recognizing the voice behind these words. It is recognizing the presence of God drawing you, calling you, urging you to pay attention. This final section is not the ending of a message. It is the beginning of your awakening. Heaven is not closing its conversation with you. It is opening a door. And the Father is gently placing his hand upon your heart, saying, "Walk through this with me. Let me guide you. Let me protect you. Let me prepare you." You are standing at a spiritual crossroads right now. One path leads back to distraction, to noise, to partial listening, to skipping God when life gets overwhelming. But the other path, the path God is pointing toward, leads to clarity, to maturity, to spiritual sharpness, to peace that does not fade, to guidance that does not confuse, to blessings that come without sorrow. And tonight, God is asking you to choose the right path. Not tomorrow. Not later. Not eventually. Now, while your spirit is awake, while your heart is open, while heaven has your attention, this is the moment to realign yourself with God. This is the moment to say, "Lord, I hear you. I won't skip you anymore." This is the moment to promise him your attention, your trust, your willingness to follow. You may not know how everything in your life will unfold. You may not understand the unexpected that is coming. But you do not need to understand it. You only need to walk with the one who does. And before we bring this message to a close, I want to speak to you in the gentlest way. When God gives a word that reaches you deeply, when he breathes life into you through a message, when he stirs your spirit and strengthens your faith, it becomes a holy act to make sure the word does not stop with you. My child, treat this moment with reverence. Treat this message as something heaven entrusted to you. If it touched you, if it awakened you, if it spoke to you, then let it move through you. Lift it. Share it. Spread it. Honor it. Let your support become a response to God, a small but meaningful act that says, "Lord, I value what you have spoken. I want this word to reach others who need it too." As your spiritual father in this moment, I urge you, help carry this message forward. Let it echo. Let it reach the ones who are lost, tired, hurting, drifting, and desperately needing the voice of God. Consider it a divine duty, a holy offering, to lift this message so it can awaken someone else the way it awakened you. And now, with all the love of heaven, and with the full weight of peace resting on this moment, I speak this final blessing over your spirit. May your ears stay open. May your heart stay soft. May your steps stay aligned. May the unexpected bring you closer to God, not farther away. May the countdown lead you to clarity, not fear. And may you never again skip the voice that has carried you, protected you, and called you since the day you were born. Amen.